What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. That's right, I'm Link. Today I'm going to be doing a short 5-ish minute review of Far Cry 6. Fair warning, I have beat the game, so this will be my full review of the story. I don't believe I'll spoil anything, but you've been warned. As always, if you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to like it and subscribe to my channel for more content like this. Let's jump straight into it then. During this review, you may hear me say something a lot. I apologize ahead of time for this, but that would be Ubisoft Standard. The graphics in this game are Ubisoft Standard. I'm running a decent machine, but not top tier, and I'm recording to boot, so I'm not playing on the highest settings, but I do play on upper mid settings usually. The graphics in the game capture the South/Central American jungle vibe that they're going for quite well, but ultimately they're limited by being Ubisoft Standard. If you played any Ubisoft game in the last 3 or 4 years, I believe you'll know what I mean. Is that a bad thing? You can decide that on your own. I only hope Ubisoft doesn't fall into the Bethesda trap of using the same engine for 700 years. The sound of the game is great. The weapons sound amazing, the voice acting is phenomenal. Looking at you, Giancarlo. The guns sound visceral when they don't have a suppressor on them. I didn't play with the revolver weapons much, and we'll get into that more in the gameplay section, so I can't say how they sounded. I do wish games would stop making suppressors sound like they're softly farting out bullets, though. Other than that, no real complaints here. The voice acting itself is just perfect. The gameplay of Far Cry 6 is, well, Ubisoft Standard. It feels very similar to the last 2 Assassin's Creed games, to the last Watch Dogs. It's becoming Ubisoft Standard. If you enjoy that gameplay loop, then huzzah, more for you. If you don't, then you'd probably want to avoid this game. The story is decent, if a bit predictable at times, and in general, the gameplay was fun enough that I only felt the drag to quit a couple of times, and, well, I'm a fickle gamer. Overall, the gunplay felt good, even though I'm a terrible shot. Generally, walking around and completing tasks felt good. I avoided all of the side missions, so bear that in mind. They will slow you down, exactly as Ubisoft intended. The aspect of the gameplay involving the guns was perhaps my biggest complaint. Rather than feeling like you'd slowly get more powerful over the course of the game, I felt 3 immense damage spikes. One when I got my first 2-star bow, the second when I got the first unique pistol, and the third when I got my first 3-star sniper rifle. Other than that, everything else was basically worthless. The pistol would one-shot most opponents with a headshot, the bow and sniper rifle would absolutely one-shot enemies with a headshot. Once you got a few gunpowders and put armor-piercing rounds on them, they were unstoppable. This left me with no need to use the revolver weapons, and I barely even used my backpack. At least my backpack helped me with helicopters when I remembered it, until I got my lock-on missile later in the game, that is. This caused tedium to set in with the gameplay, and was the leading issue of my wanting to put the game down. It's like they want to lean into the RPG genre, but only just barely. It kind of makes me sad. Overall, this game has a huge amount of content. I played it for approximately 25 hours and was able to finish the main story while not going too far out of the way for FND bases, anti-air guns, checkpoints. I did 0 of the side missions and in general avoided anyone trying to hand me stuff. The story itself is decent and enthralling. It shows the true horror of some countries like this that have to go through a violent revolution to throw off the reins of a ruthless dictator. Seriously, if you have a weak stomach, you may want to skip most of the cutscenes. Follow the warning at the beginning of the game. They tell a good story, and you'll lose out on some of the performance, but oof. Overall, I'd give this game a solid rating of, if you have Ubisoft Plus, then by all means play it. It's great for the low price of free with your subscription. If you don't have Ubisoft Plus, I'd probably suggest waiting until it comes down in price a bit, or goes on sale. I mean, seriously, Christmas is coming up, you can always hope. Overall, I enjoyed the game. I more than likely won't touch it again other than to get B-roll for this video, unless a DLC comes out that sounds just mind-blowing. Anyway, that's all for today, everyone. Thanks for hanging out, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. If you enjoyed this review, leave a comment down below and let me know. I'll do my best to answer everyone and give more thoughts. If this video does well, I'll even consider doing this for more games in the future. Take care, YouTube.